Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear, and today we're going to take a look at one of the newest Maelstrom lights from 4Sevens. This is the X10. So really similar to the S12, the big difference is that it's going to be using the CREE XM-L LED instead of that SST-90 LED from Luminus, which does a couple of things. It's a much smaller LED, so you're going to get better throw out of this guy. Not quite as much output, but better throw, and we'll show you that better when we go outside. And the XML LEDs are a lot cheaper, so the price on this one is lower than you get with the S12. Let's go ahead and pull the light out. There's the light. I'll show you that better here in just a minute, of course. Show you the other stuff you get with it. Here is the holster. Pretty nice holster. Here's some O-rings that you get, spare O-rings. Nothing else inside there. You have the warranty information, instruction manual, which is always worth a read. And then the holster, slide the light in, got the button that clicks over on the top. On the back, Velcro, so you can attach it however you want, belt, pack, wherever else. And then another attachment point hanging off a carabiner, however you want to attach it. Alright, so that's the holster, pretty nice holster. And they did fix the thing that they had in some of the first batches where the button would scratch up the light, so you see there's a piece of fabric that's covering up the button on the inside now. So that problem is no longer something they had with the like the first batch of the S12s. Slide all the packaging to the side. There's the light. I have an S12 around here somewhere if I can find it. There it is. Alright, so you'll see that the light's pretty much identical. So in terms of the physical differences, you're not really going to notice anything when you're looking at the bodies, other than of course the names, S12, X10. The big difference that you're going to notice between the two lights, obviously the physical differences, not really anything other than the names. The LEDs are the really big difference. So here's the S12 with that SST-90. Here is the X10 with the CREE XM-L. You notice the difference in the size. Really big difference. So much larger LED on the SST-90. Like I said, more output, but you're not going to get as good of a throw because they have similar reflectors or similar size reflectors. Much smaller LED on this with the same size reflector is going to give you better throw. Other than that, not really a lot of difference between the lights, but the beams definitely are going to be different, and we'll show you that better when we go outside. So let's set the S12 back to the side, show you the X10 a little bit better. Take off the end cap. So the batteries for this, you can use the S12 batteries in the X10. Those will work just fine. But there was a batch of batteries that were labeled as X10 only batteries, and the reason is the circuit in them cannot handle the amperage, I believe is what it was, that the S12 requires. So the ones that are labeled as X10 batteries, they're not going to work that well in the S12, but the S12 batteries will work in the S10, or the X10. So there's the inside of the battery tube. Here's the battery. Slide that in there. Put this on the back. And it is about the size of a D-cell, but it is not a D-cell battery. It is not an alkaline. What it is a lithium-ion rechargeable battery. 3.7 volts versus the 1.5 that you get on an alkaline. So stick an alkaline in here and you're not really going to get a whole lot out of this light. Special battery, takes a special charger, but it's definitely worth it because the output on such a small light is pretty cool. So the switch on this, one thing that you'll notice is that when you tighten it all the way, the light will turn on. That's how you get the constant on, and you have two different outputs. So each time you turn it off and on, you'll switch between. Got Argo snorting in the background. I guess he doesn't like my videos this time. But the switch on the back, lightly press it. That's how you get your momentary. And each time you turn it off and on, it's going to switch between when you're doing it quickly. Now it has a memory, so if you leave it off for a few seconds, turn it back on, then it's going to go back into the same mode. It's when you do it quickly that it's going to switch between. That's the interface on the X10, same as you had on the S12. Let's go ahead and take them both outside, and we'll show you how they do outside and show you a little bit better how the beams compare. Okay, we've got the shorter distance shot here with the X10 and S12. Got the big 40 mag light that I always use. Let's try that mag light out first. 15 feet, 100 feet out there. And then since the S12 is the existing light, let's try that one out first. Sorry, I didn't have the tail cap tightened. I'll show you the two different levels. Okay, let me show you the two different levels of the S12. There's the high. You can see up close, definitely almost too much light. 100 feet does really well. I really like this light just because of how spread out it is. You have that huge LED and a relatively small reflector compared to the size of the LED, so it just lights up everything in front of you. So much light's coming out of this that this thing goes hundreds of yards easily. But we'll show you the lower modes real quick. There you go. And here's the X10. You'll see how much more concentrated this one is. So there's the two different outputs. So you can see much smaller hotspot, but it's more concentrated, so you're going to get better throw, a little bit better distance out of the X10 compared to the S12. But still, the spill on it is pretty solid. Let's try them out side by side and see how they do. There's the S12 on the left, X10 on the right. You see the difference in the concentrations between the two. You'll see this a little bit better here in just a second when we try a longer distance. So let's go ahead and try that longer distance. Okay, we got more room to work with now. Got the two Maelstroms, got the 4D mag light. There's my house at about 50 yards. Does okay, the mag light actually. Tree in the front yard, over 100 yards to the top of it. Doesn't really do all that great. So let's try the Maelstroms out, see how they do. First off, we're going to try the S12. There you can see the amount of light that comes out of this little guy. Consider, when you're looking at this, how small the light is. It's pretty impressive, the amount of light coming out of this thing. It's that battery that's able to deliver just a whole lot of power to that big LED. Really impressive considering the size of the light. Over 100 yards away. Let's actually put it on constant on so I can zoom. There you go. No problem for the little guy. Alright, let's try out the X10, see how it does. You can see it's more concentrated, and actually on low does a little bit better at distance than that S12 did. And on high, more concentrated, definitely. Goes to the top of the tree, 100 yards away, extremely well. Obviously, you can see the amount of light coming out at 100 yards. Either one of these can do beyond 100 yards, absolutely no problem. We'll shine it around a little bit so you can see how it does with different colors, different distances and everything. And we'll do them side by side. So we've got the X10 on the right, S12 on the left. Make sure they're both on high. Shine them around a little bit. So more concentrated hotspot on that X10. It's going to give you a little bit better throw, but you can see how much larger the hotspot is on the S12, so you'll be able to light up a wider area at once. You just have to decide which one's better for you. But you can get either one of them from us at goinggear.com. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe. We put out a lot of flashlight videos. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach us in the comments or at goinggear.com.